Yep, it's a minor time. Absolutely, it's PPP. Yep, the Supreme Court took all the agencies away, but that's one alphabet soup that they couldn't get rid of, and that's the Pied Piper of pedophiles. So, there's gonna be in-house fighting. There's, they're gonna be stuck on the unreality of it. But right now, we got to get back into the real world, because our real world consists of having policies
that's going to lose our health care, and we're going to be losing lose the voting rights, what's left of the Voting Rights Act, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, under the private right to sue.
And who was on live the other day, basically expressing Jasmine Crockett. She was talking about Texas and what they was trying to do to the Texas district.
What they're doing to the Texas districts is getting rid of the VRA, Voting Rights Amendment, the VRA. That means without the VRA, a lot of those black members in Congress would not even be in Congress.
Yeah, they messing with those maps. And it's too early to change the maps around, and that's what they doing. They did it in Memphis, didn't
they? They did it in Tennessee when they cut Nashville into corners where Nashville has no representation, or in Salt Lake City when they cut Salt Lake City into 4 pieces where Salt Lake City don't have no representation in Congress.
And this is what the surprise was. When Kavanaugh stepped up to the plate and say, we're going to put it on hold. No, Kavanaugh ain't, this is not the way he does. This is not his MO. Kavanaugh is a person that's strictly against all the voting right. He has a history of trying to do the ID and take it down to where we have no rights whatsoever.
Same thing with Clarence Thomas. And another one that tried the biggest betrayal, the number one enemy in black America, is Clarence Thomas.
Yeah.
When Clarence, and all the House Quisitor Negroes, like Clarence Thomas, like Wesley Hunt, like Tim Scott in South Carolina, and Tim Scott said America is not a racist country. That Tim Scott.
Well, see, what you got to understand is when they come up there with those words, they'll use race neutral, and they'll use color blindness. And the sad thing about that is when they're using those words, it's going to be hard. It makes it harder to challenge the discrimination, and present our side, because they're saying that basically they're race neutral, and discrimination don't exist, and we know that's a bunch of shit. But in the meantime,
and the traitors and the blacks that, like the Wesley Hunts and the Tim Scotts that argued against it, they're traitors to the black community. They're the enemy number one in the black community.
Yeah.
And the Byron Donalds.
So we can't, if you all want to go over there and look on that side of those, the enablers, all the PPPs that the Supreme Court didn't take out, the alphabet soup agency, the Pied Pipers of pedophiles, bottom line is the company you keep. That's right. It's always been the company you keep. And a lot of people didn't want to keep the company with that person because they knew that it would ruin their reputation.
More their reputation, they would be going to jail, losing their career.
Well, what I got to say is, like I say, as my girl say, back to life, back to reality. We got to get back to life and back to reality, because we're not trying to do another show. We're not trying to do another, what they call this show?
Apprentice.
No, we're not trying to do another Apprentice. We're done with the game show. We're done with the game show.
This is real life, not some game show, period.
And if Boy had all that information, and even if they coming out there like Glenn Kirshner said,
there's only less than 1%. The grand jury testimony is only less than 1% of the pot. Is only 1%. There's about 3 gigabytes of information on Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Glenn basically was stating that the information would have been given up. All the information was there when Trump was in. They saw it, and they doing everything they can to
cover it up.
They got their agenda. It's called putting us back in slavery. And once we get you back, we're gonna kill every black person, every black, brown, beige person, and then this will be our universe. They don't, how many times I don't know how to. I'm not good at prettying enough things.
It doesn't need to be pretty.
Maybe you all might think that I'm not a hopeful person, but hell, I've lived a lot of this myself, and the fight is on. It is on.
We have to go to confrontations in the streets.
And the lady that had all the policies that y'all said that y'all didn't have enough information on, y'all didn't, you know.
And then 84 million people in the votes that vote for you will never be forgiven.
You know.
I will never forgive them.
Yeah,
never.
But they, you know, they don't care whether you forgive them or not, sweetheart. They don't. That's not. You know, the thing is, they gotta suffer too. You know, if going to the doctor the other day and the doctors are sitting there saying, you know,
I'm glad you take care of yourself, because we live in,
you know, if 80% is Medicaid, this is a Medicaid area, you know, are they saying that, ooh, we don't know what to do. We're petrified, and a lot of people, they're not gonna have no doctors. A lot of doctors are leaving America, you know. So hey, so be it. They asked for this. They voted for the person that they thought that could give them answers on something that happened that they made up.
Or they look for a savior. They look for a savior and lies, and that's what they are.
Well, just like Candace and Bannon and all of them, their strategy might be, let's keep it going. They MAGA, you know. I don't trust none of that shit they out there saying. Like, they want to see the files and shit. They know that they could have asked for that when Trump was in. They didn't ask for it then. Ain't no need to ask for it now, because we know how that shit go. That shit gonna have black markers all over it. You know, come on now. You ain't gonna even be able to read it. They already know that it ain't the Democrats. And even if the Democrats was involved, I'm gonna tell you my feeling on it. If the Democrats was involved, you know, let them hang too. Yeah. I ain't supporting nobody.
That's out there.
I'm not supporting no pedophiles.
I don't support no pedophiles.
I don't care how rich you are, you know.
I don't care if you're on my side. If you're a pedophile, and if you are hurting children and raping women and children, you are dead. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And if you know, up in the Supreme Court and you looking down across the way, you know, if you want your legacy to be this, and when it all comes out, because it's been out.
Their legacy is going to be worse than the tyranny court when the Dred Scott decision. It's going to be worse than that.
This ain't really nothing new, okay? Everybody have known for years. People just didn't want to face the reality. Okay, it's out again. And now his crew is asking for it. Now he's suing the people that put him up on the media. So I'm waiting for the rest of these crew to come out there and say something, because if he's suing for $10 billion, all Rupert Murdoch got to do is go on his TV show, which was what?
Which was Fox News, Rupert, and Grow Wall Street.
Secession. Let's see. Rupert Murdoch, let's create Secession Part 2. Because, you know, I'll have my lawyers come after you. I ain't trying to be paramount over here. I ain't got to kiss your butt. I'm not finna give you no $10 billion.
They don't have business with Rupert Murdoch don't have business with the government like Paramount does and CBS does. There's a difference.
You know.
So he's war free to fight.
Yeah. So, you know, it's kind of sad in a way, because the bottom line is MAGA and the Republicans, they're one of the same. They're one of the same. And
they're evil.
Cory Booker and the rest of y'all gonna have to understand that y'all can't change these people's minds. It's a different war.
It is, yeah, it is a different war. And what really ticked me off about Cory Booker this time, when he told Charles Grassley of Iowa, "You're a good man." No good man would block objection to the Democrats. What he did, you forfeit your good man status. That really pissed me off about Cory Booker. Charles Grassley ain't no good man. Don't you ever say that?
No. Well,
have you lost your black mind, Cory Booker?
Well, like I said, they're sitting across from a lot of pedophiles. They're sitting across from a lot of Pied Pipers. Remember when Marjorie Taylor Greene, when Matt Gaetz came out there and he had all those issues, and they said, okay, if Matt Gaetz should be released, then, you know, we gonna let y'all know that Mike Johnson, that's right, Mike Johnson got papers, you know, he got a slush fund developed for people in
Congress that cover up for sexual assault.
Yeah. So I don't know why the Democrats are sitting over there talking about respecting shit. I wouldn't respect none of them, because I'd be looking at them like, and who did you grade?
Yeah, who did you sexually assault?
Yeah. There's no respect there.
None.
There's no trust.
No respect, no trust whatsoever.
But it's kind of sad. It's really sad that they think they can go in there and fight that fight. Put your gloves on and let's go. Because all that decorum, that shit's gone.
Decorum is dead.
And all we asking for younger people to fight this battle. Everybody was over there and they were saying, well, when grandmama came along and they didn't really save their money and now we got to take care of them. Not everything got cut, and you got to find somebody to take care of grandmama and you too. So what about that? When they was over there talking about the legacy deed, they were sitting over there and saying, well, when they worked at Ford Motor Company, and now they didn't save their money, and we got to step in and help them.
Yeah, but that means the pension is gone. It used to be the jobs where the pension you could retire, but that's a myth. Retirement is a myth.
Well, they can't help grandmama, and they ain't gonna be able to help themselves because they set it out. They didn't vote. They
84 million people that didn't vote with their lazy tails.
And the bottom line is, now, like I said, y'all gotta fight.
Now you gotta fight. It just
y'all
really shows
didn't like the ladies' policies. Y'all didn't even like the ladies' mind. Y'all could have sit somewhere and say, she kind of talking real good here, and y'all over here believing somebody that you can't understand a thing they say. They go from one place to another, and that's really sad. That's really sad. And they on another twist today, but I ain't trying to fall for that. I'm moving on from that. I let MAGA move and the Republicans do their thing over there. But like I said, they created this lie, and that's what lies do. Lies catch up with you.
They catch up with you and they devour you at the end.
So,
because that's what conspiracy theories do. They will devour you at the end.
So
every once in a while.
Good luck,
Conspiracy
Steve
theories
Bannon and Candace Zorn and all these people that went in and had to just fall in line and just believe this stuff. Like I said, get your Kool-Aid ready.
Get your Kool-Aid ready. The same thing.
I hope y'all got, before y'all's insurance go out, I hope y'all got burial insurance because, it's going to be a fallout. It's going to be a fallout. And like I said, ain't nobody going for that mess with the reality show. Nobody's going back for that.
Nobody. Nobody.
That's y'all shit. Ain't nobody. Hey, y'all live over there in that world. I live on planet Earth. A lot of people think I'm from planet Black because that's how they look at us, black, brown, and beige. They in their little room talking about us behind our back. Now they got emboldened and talked about us to our face. They put people in the Supreme Court, and now they trying to throw Emile Bove up there, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's time to, if you all really looked at what's really going on, for years and years, just like he did in his baby oil, did his shit, then birds of a feather flock together, did they shit. And that's what we gotta say. So Vaughn, what's your last word?
My last word on it is that while you guys were looking at the Jeffrey Epstein and distractions on the left right there, we're losing our right to vote because there was a North Dakota case that even said that you cannot have a private right to sue, which means the end of the Voting Rights Act. If you get rid of the Voting Rights Act, we're not going to have no rights real soon. We may even lose our citizenship. If 84 million people that sat on their ass didn't even care.
Well, the greatest feat, and I'm gonna say it again. The greatest feat that Trump could get, the greatest feat, is that to have a black man deliver us back in slavery. And who was that?
Clarence Thomas. The greatest feat was the black man like the Clarence Thomas, Byron Donalds, Tim Scott, Wesley Hunt. They black men.
And
Candace back into slavery.
Mm-hmm.
The house Negro.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
That he can sit up there and say, "Wow, I never thought I'd have somebody, turn on their people like this and just hand them over to me. Because like I say, it's more of us than them. But they control everything. And when they go back to their states and tell y'all, try to feed y'all that crap about, I didn't know it was in the bill, then that means that you don't need to have them representing you because they don't even read. Holly was back there cheering for them not to show the Epstein files. I don't care about the Epstein files.
I don't care about that either.
Everybody know who he was. Even the people that didn't care about it tuned into it. But now what you got on your hand is that now that it's reared its ugly head, and he the one bringing it up. That but that's to bring it up to what? Another twist in this shit, another twist in the plot, because they're getting close to voting time. They got coming up, I think, Mark Elias say in October, and those are the things that's been pressing on my mind. And another thing, I made a video, didn't I, Vaughn?
Yeah.
I forgot to put it out because they threw some more shit in the game. And what happened was, it was about Texas and the flood. And the sad thing is, now you don't hardly hear about that. You don't hardly hear about Texas and the flood. So
that's it.
So I'm gonna release that video. The stats gonna be off because there's more people have passed away since that video, since I didn't put it out there. But major things, major issue. Climate change is an existential threat, just like my boy over there. And ain't nobody talking about climate change. And we got somebody that sit up and let 3 days go by before they even call somebody to come in to help these people. And you got all these bodies laying around, but yet and still I'm worried about Jeffery Epstein. I don't think so.
No, we're done.
No. Jeffrey dead, as they say, a dead man can't talk, and a jigger sometimes don't tell it right.
Yeah. And
so the bottom line on this is, whatever comes out, MAGA move, and the Republicans, they got to deal with they got to look over there and say, wow, I can't believe that, our savior over here was like this, and MAGA Mike Johnson. Oh, I can't hardly wait to see his face when he find out who he worshiping. Oh yeah. I can't hardly wait till he find out, because I guess he having some little remorse over there. But you don't even hear about the little Christians coming out talking about they Savior too much.
Because you don't need them.
How you gonna go on a retribution tour? God don't go on a retribution tour. Taking everybody out the box, making everybody pay, I know God said, I'll take the lady that had a penny. She can come on into the church. Now, you got to have billions of dollars in that church, or you're going to get sued. You're going to get sued. And the sad thing is, I don't know if it's woke or whatever, it's going to be choke, because once they look in the mirror and see who they really was dealing with, once they have to accept that this is who they was following, then shout out to them.
Yeah. Yep.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Yep, that's what I feel.
So, like I said, the agency that's still up, that the Supreme Court ain't taken out yet, is PPP, Pied Piper Pedophiles, and it's coming your way soon. Look forward. So on that note, Brian, you got anything else to say?
I think that's it.
All right, we're out.